Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 10 out of Jake, man. I'm rocking with Charlie, y'all rocking with me. For this video, I'm going to be speaking on Know Your Boy Goo. And unfortunately, I have some bad news. An attack took place, allegedly, that may or may not affect his appeal. Now, if you've been rocking with the channel from the very beginning, you know Datrick Johnson, aka Goo, played an important role in my prison bid. And if you're new here, I highly suggest you watch the Know Your Boy Goo video. If Know Your Boy sounds familiar, you've probably heard it from Kodak Black, who really made Pompano, Florida worldwide. This is where Goo's from, in Broward County, and Kodak's homie Pompano Randy is Goo's nephew. I've been screaming bro's name in countless videos because of the injustice regarding his case and the fact that his first felony adult conviction landed him with 50 years on robbery charges, while inmates inside of the Florida Department of Corrections have killed other inmates in the most savage, brutal ways, receiving less than a 25-year sentence. And the same thing in the streets. People have caught second-degree murders and pled out to just 15 years. But Goo never pulled the trigger, never killed anybody, and his release date is 2057. Goo's video blew up not only because I could provide visuals of him actually in prison, but because of the sincerity in the story. And this video isn't the easiest to make because, to be honest, it's bad news. Goo got stabbed a while back, months ago, and without getting into too many details, people wanted him gone, and they made the move while he was in the canteen line. The nurse said the muscle in his back was thick enough to keep the metal from puncturing anything vital. The crash dummy that was sent to stab Goo was repeatedly stabbed his damn self by whoever sent him because he failed to kill Goo, allegedly. When I heard this, it was hard to form the right response. Too many times you'll hear from people outside of prison telling you to lay low, mind your business, and you'll be good. But they don't understand the times when that isn't an option. Unless you're willing to tolerate disrespect or be victimized, which many people are fine with, but not Goo. I understand like he did. After something like that, if you want to survive in the DOC, where respect is all you have, it's on site with whoever's responsible. Because in their eyes, it's on site when they see you. But I hated to think that. All he has to do is get sent to a sweet camp that he can relax and put his feet up at, and just focus on his appeal. Any little thing in prison as far as disciplinary reports can be used against him. But an attack on an inmate by a known gang member, that's giving the courts exactly what they want to keep him in there. And it happened anyway. It was just completely unrelated. On August 14th, 2020, inmate Datrick Johnson, DC number L58602, was charged with aggravated battery or attempted aggravated battery on an inmate. The lieutenant at the time reviewed the surveillance video from within CDORM and observed the following incident. Inmate Johnson, security threat group Madstone Bloods, was observed exiting the bathroom in the direction of the CDORM officer's station. Inmate Johnson returned to the wing with a T-shaped broom in his right hand, walking in an aggressive manner in the direction of cell C2108, with no visible injuries or appearance of such, continuing towards cell C2108, where another inmate had just arrived. Johnson is observed swinging the broom in the other inmate's direction, but due to the fixed camera view and two sheets hanging from the cell between cell 108 and 109, it cannot be determined if Johnson made contact with the broom or any other object thereafter. All brooms were accounted for, inspected for any damage or blood, and it could not be determined which broom had been utilized during the incident. The other inmate was evaluated by medical staff with the following injuries: neck pain, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, sluggish pupils, and a laceration of the back of his head. His injuries required him to be taken to an outside hospital for treatment. So to sum it up, they're basically saying that Goo went and grabbed a push broom, the big janitor brooms that are heavy, they're strong too, and allegedly fired him up with it. And the only backstory that I was able to hear was the dude was allegedly a thief, known for stealing. Whatever happened between him and Goo, I'm not sure, They inspected all the brooms. There was no damage. I wouldn't really expect damage on the broom because of how fucking strong they are. But if you bust somebody's head, there's gonna be, you know, meat on the broom. You're gonna find shit, taco meat, blood, whatever, because you're busting somebody's head open. I've seen it happen at Lancaster plenty of times. And aggravated battery on an inmate, assault on an inmate, whichever, or it's only 60 days in confinement. And then if you get hit with the weapon, that's another 60 days. We're talking about confinement time. Or from what I heard, the victim in this case is trying to press charges on Goo. Now, if this would hold in an outside court, I'm not sure. They don't have him actually striking him on camera. It could have just been attempted and the guy could have just fell, whatever. I'm not sure how that would even play out. But I know for a fact that a disciplinary report like this is nothing good for his appeal. And right now he's already at Charlotte CI, which is closed management, CM. Basically, you're just locked behind the door for an extended amount of time. It could be a year, it could be more. So he's back there on CM. He doesn't have any access to JPay. He can't email anybody. He can only receive letters and write letters at this point. You know, it's fucked up to hear this because when I was around him, this is the same person that when I wanted to lash out violently, he would pull me aside and speak to me and talk me out of it. He would put into my head the things that I needed to be focused on, like release and what I'm gonna do with my life after release, controlling my emotions, controlling these thoughts inside of my head that make me feel like I need to go attack somebody based on the way prison is ran. I was thinking of lashing out violently because of opinions from other people. What do they think of me? Do they think I'm soft? If I don't do this, I gotta go do this. I gotta go show them I'm not soft. You pull me aside like, why do you even give a fuck, bro? Everybody knows you're not weak. You've already put in mad work. You've already fought. You've already done this. You've already done that. You need to go home. Because at the end of the day, that's what the fuck they can't do. You get to do that. They can't. They gotta sit in here. That's why they're like that. You don't want to please them. You don't want to submit to the type of shit that they're putting out. Because this isn't your life. It's theirs. And it's theirs because their paper says their release date is 9/9/99. They're not going home. But you are. It was shit like that that kept my head straight. It was shit like that that I appreciate to this day. I don't know what happened with this. I know that he was stabbed a while ago and he didn't want me to tell anybody about that because at the end of the day, nobody wants to be seen as vulnerable. You know what I mean? And he was always a symbol of strength and knowledge for me. I never imagined him getting hit up by anybody just because of how much respect he had on the compound. And he was able to bring peace to a lot of people. So I never understood how the fuck he could become a target aside from people just hating on him. Hating on the fact that he's smarter than the next man. Hating on the fact that he can make things happen. And there's plenty of people inside of there that will hate on those qualities and will target you just because of that. Because they're mad inside of their heart and in their mind. They're not on that level. They can't achieve the same status of respect. They can only lash out violently. That's the only thing they can do. And that's why they're stuck inside of prison. And it's hard as fuck to try to tell somebody to maintain, to try to tell somebody to just do what you gotta do and get out of that situation when you know what they're living in. If you know somebody's gonna come at you with a knife, what are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? The DOC isn't gonna protect you. That's fucking well known. Time and time again, they failed to do so. You can't rely on them. PC isn't a fucking option. You gotta handle your business, and it becomes a very dangerous and deadly environment for somebody that just wants to go home. After he was stabbed, he was sent to a sweet facility. He was sent to Avon Park. If anybody knows about Avon, it's sweet as hell. There's nothing you gotta worry about there. But at the same time, when you're at these sweet, soft compounds, thieves, jizzles, the people that are usually at the bottom of the food chain that don't even speak on a real compound where people are getting taken off, they're able to flourish in a compound like this because they don't fear being stabbed or being violently attacked. because nobody wants to leave this type of facility. So it makes me think, he obviously can't provide me with every single detail, but it makes me think from a convict standpoint, being that I was inside a prison, what the fuck was this guy really doing that would make Goo go that far out of his character to approach him, not attack him, because I don't know if he actually attacked him, but to even approach the man? What the fuck was this guy actually doing? How antagonizing was this dude? Because it's not like Goo to do anything like this. Now, what's even more fucked up is I know that once he's done with CM, which will be 6 months or a year from now, they're gonna send him to an active compound. They're gonna look at his security threat group. They're gonna look at his disciplinary report. Oh, you like attacking people with brooms? All right, we're gonna send you over here. And he's right back into the mix, into the bullshit. It's tough. It's tough trying to support somebody that you really can't. I can't say anything to him that he doesn't already know. I can just hope for the best. But when dealing with the Florida DOC, you have to expect the worst. And if any of you would like to reach out to him with any support, any kind words, just to say what's up, send pictures, whatever, I'm gonna have his whole address in the comment section pinned. Anybody that wants to reach out to him, reach out. It's just like I said, it's hard trying to support somebody that you really can't. You know, I've even reached out to fucking Kodak's lawyer, but I didn't even get a response. I just got left on scene. And it's like, you gotta really have a lot of fucking money to be able to pull strings like that. We're not talking about $10,000, $20,000. We're talking about a lot of fucking money. It's difficult. And it fucks me up because I wish I was in a position where I could stand up in court on his behalf and say everything that he's done right while he's been inside of prison and everything that he's helped me with when I was inside of prison, because I wouldn't have none of this shit had I made the decision to go run up on dude and stab him in his neck that rainy day when I thought I could get away with it because the cameras wouldn't see me, and when it's raining we're allowed to run the chow. There's no COs. I wanted to kill that dude. I wanted to stab him in his fucking neck, and I had someone else that was gonna do it with me. And Goo was the only reason I didn't do it. Completely talked me out of it. I had it set in my mind and heart. That is what I wanted to do, and I would have nothing that I have today. I wouldn't have my daughter. I wouldn't have this channel. I wouldn't have my freedom if Goo didn't help me with that. But hey, it's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with Charlie. Y'all rocking with me. Till next time.